Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Janine. It has been a while since I recorded my last video. Life was just so incredibly busy. So I'm happy that I finally get to share another video, this time with a fluffy helper. Let's get to it. Last night I started a watercolor landscape, and when I sat down today to continue painting, I discovered the paper buckled while it dried and the washi tape lifted. Let me show you how to fix this. First, let's play through the obvious solutions. I can't just reattach the tape. First off, it will not stick at all or stick evenly to the paper. This allows watercolor to bleed under the tape, messing up the crisp edges. Second, the unstretched paper changes in size and is uneven, now requiring a different length of tape. And third, leaving it wavy makes it difficult to paint. Gravity will lead to puddles, making the watercolor pool. But what about the quality of the paper? Well, this is expensive 100% cotton paper. While in my experience, wood pulp paper is, in general, stiffer when wet and dry, using cotton paper won't prevent the buckling, and therefore the washi tape comes off just the same. If the washi tape is more sticky, there is a good chance the paper would rip when I remove it later. That's why I choose not to use painter's tape. It is often too sticky to be used on paper. Even washi tape, I sometimes attach to my pens first to make it less sticky. Also, even if the washi tape still sticks to the paper after painting the first layer, the paper would still become wavy. Watercolor puddles would form next to the tape while drying, creating blooms. Could a block of cotton watercolor paper with the edges glued on save the day? Well, in my experience, the washi tape sometimes lifts you too. The paper can still bulge, lifting the tape. Especially towards the center, it can look like a giant air bubble formed under the paper. Side note, many artists use washi tape with a block of paper because they like crisp edges. What about stretching the paper? Yeah, I could stretch it by submerging the paper in water to relax the fibers and then staple it to plywood to keep it flat. That works, but who has time for that? Keep watching for an alternative way. There is a way to use the principle of stretching without putting in the work. One of the reasons for the paper to buckle is the uneven surface tension between the two sides of the paper. Adding water to the front and back of the paper helps. During the drying process, the paper will still become wavy if you don't follow my next suggestions. So, what can you do to prevent the washi tape from lifting? In short, preventing the paper from becoming wavy. I have 2 tips for you here. When I'm done painting the first layer of the landscape, I wait for the perfect time to weigh down the painting. The paper needs to still be moist, not yet wavy, but the watercolor paint needs to be dry enough so that I can safely touch it without smudging it. Especially when you use wood pulp paper, it will usually still be blown up like a balloon towards the center of the paper. When the paper reaches the perfect point of dryness, I place a large piece of paper towel on the paper. Next, I place a heavy book on top and wait patiently for the painting to dry. Another way to prevent the tape from lifting is to use extra washi tape. For the painting in this video, I used washi tape as one usually would, half on the paper and half on the table. Next, I added an extra layer to keep everything down on the table, taping it half on the first washi tape and half on the table. When I use wider washi tape in the first place, it usually does nothing to prevent the tape from detaching. Adding 2 layers of washi tape, wettening the front and back of the paper, and weighing the paper down with a heavy book while drying is a real alternative to stretching the paper, especially when you use wood pulp paper. Let's talk about how to continue the painting when you did not prevent it from becoming wavy. This is what happened to my painting and inspired this video. I simply forgot to weigh down. To fix this, I straightened the watercolor paper and then re-add the tape. First, I remove the tape, only leaving some on to make sure the paper remains in view of the camera. The paper needs to be 100% dry, or removing the tape will likely rip it. I then evenly coat the back of the paper with water. This will soften up the wood, pulp or cotton paper. I wait a few minutes for the paper to absorb the water. In the meantime, I prevent the paper from buckling further by adding a heavy book on top. After a few minutes, I need to decide if the paper absorbed enough water or if I need to add more. If more water is needed, you can usually see dry patches on the back and stiff spots. Stiff spots would not have become flat under the weight of the book, while most paper is more flexible. The paper just won't stay flat without being dried in that position. Once the paper is evenly moist, I can cover the painting with a paper towel and weigh it down with a book while it dries. This will remove most of the buckling, allowing me to re-add washi tape and continue to paint. I hope you found this video useful. Please leave me a like, and I hope I will see you soon with another video.